So today I think I'm actually going to change things up a little bit and do something a little nerdy aside from playing video games. I have with me here today a Super Game Boy. Now, for those of you who don't know, but I'm pretty sure most of you do, this is essentially just a Game Boy packaged into a cartridge that you put into the Super Nintendo and you can play original, non-color Game Boy games on. The only problem is, for whatever reason, they didn't. The clock speed didn't work like it did on the handheld itself. It runs off the clock speed of the Super Nintendo. So that means games play slightly faster, which can be admittedly a little annoying. Now, in Japan, they have the Super Game Boy 2, which added a crystal oscillator that is clocked to the proper speed for the Game Boy itself. So that means games play at the right speed. They also added a link cable, but I don't really care about that. So, and trying to get a hold of a Super Game Boy is not as hard, or it's not hard. It's just more expensive, which I don't feel like doing today, or didn't feel like spending the money on, I should say. So what I found is I just went on Google and typed in Super Game Boy clock mod, and something came up. It's by a guy named, hang on a sec. Came up with a Tindy page with a guy named QWERTYmoto. And all it is, in fact, I will show it to you right here. It is a super tiny little board. Focus, okay, good. And what you do is you place that in between a couple points on the PCB itself there is a crystal oscillator which came with it. And that's it. It fixes the clock speed. So why don't we go ahead and open this thing right up. Okay, so now we have moving stuff out of the way because I'm not planning forward properly. All right, you will need, there's 6 screws that you need to take out. So you'll need a game bit, I think the 3.8, I guess, millimeter, whatever it is, game bit for the Game Boy cartridge itself. And you can get a lot of these game bits and stuff like that on Amazon for a relatively cheap price. Or if you were to buy something like one of the iFixit cases, like my wife so generously got me for Valentine's Day, it will come with... Let's get my fat hands out of the way. It will come with a game bit, or both game bits you need to open. Not only the the Nintendo, Game Boy, and NES cartridges, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, sorry, and Game Boy cartridges. You'll also need it for opening, I think, the OG Nintendo itself, and maybe the Super Nintendo. I haven't opened mine in a little bit, so I don't completely remember. And I think some Genesis cartridges take them too. So there's the 4 screws for that. Now there's these 2 little Phillips screws, and I think they're let's see. I'll go with the PH 000s. Yes, that should work just fine. Now this is going to take some soldering skills. You don't need a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. It shouldn't be too much. So you take those 2 screws out from where the cartridge, the Game Boy cartridge slot is, and take it out, flip it around, and there she goes. All right, so now there are 2 things that we need to take, or 3 things we need to take care of first. We need to try and get you zoomed in here. I'm doing this backwards. All right, come on, focus, focus. Sorry, I'm trying to. I don't really have a good way of. Well, actually, you know what? I do have a good way of manually focusing. There we go. Okay, so we need to take off these bottom 2 resistors slash capacitors slash whatever they are. These 2 surface mounted components, these have to be removed, as well as this one right above this IC right here. These need to be taken off. So I said, moderate soldering skills are necessary, but it shouldn't be too. All right, hands. You gonna focus? Whatever. It'll focus. Give it a sec. Ow. So what I'm gonna do is tweezers. Oh my God! Why are you not focusing? Camera. I know you're having a hard time. There we go. All right, let's try that again. So let's go over this one more time. This is going to be difficult for me, just FYI. I'm working around a camera. So, like I said, it's... I might be able to do this. Okay, so it's these 2 components that need to come off. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to flood this with some extra solder. Really get it in there. And there you go. Perfect. So the extra solder really helps. I've noticed. But solder really helps make that joint come off a little easier. And we will do the same thing on this side. And lift. Perfect. So that's number 2. Now this one I gotta be a little more careful with. As to not interrupt that IC, which we don't want. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That could not have happened any more smoothly. If I can just get this off my soldering iron. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now let me just double check myself. Good, we're good, we're good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get our board, and I'm going to, actually, let me try it like this. This is where I could wish I had my helping hand, but I don't. Alright, so we've got our board here. I'm going to go ahead and prep these 2 pads with some solder. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'll grab my flux pen. And this will help should help make sure that the solder goes just on the points that I'm looking for. And I'm going to grab our IC, or not the IC, this is the IC. Grab our oscillator, get that ready to go. And what we're going to do, oh yeah, I need my soldering iron. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these pads. Take okay, there it goes. pre-tin the pads. Are you gonna let me pre-tin the pads? There we go. I don't know why this is being difficult. There we go. Pre-tinning is actually a very good practice. So that way things go a little more smoothly for you. Now off screen, what I'm not showing you is I'm cleaning the tip of my iron off with the, there's little wet sponges you can buy for soldering kits and stuff like that. You could just use any old sponge, but these things work great. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and these legs a little spread out. Hashtag YouTube don't censor me. Okay. And this is the delicate part here. I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. So I will try and do this. See, I'm usually doing this with some sort of magnifying glass or something in my face so I can see a little better. But we're just going to YOLO this. I can't believe I just said that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and trim these legs down just a tidbit. Or, you know what? Yeah. And snip. Okay. Now, thankfully, this isn't like, from what I can tell, this isn't like an LED or anything like that where you have to worry about what side's positive and what side's negative. So I'm not going to struggle too much with trying to keep these in line. Alright, you wanna work here? Goodness me. Alright. Told you, ghetto rig, not good for this. Hopefully, we're looking to move. And by hopefully the end of summer, and I might have some more space for us, for myself to be able to do stuff like this a little more often. That was bad. That was actually, no, that was good. This down. Good. Check my work. Bridged. Okay. It should be. Oh, that's right. Alright. That's adequate. I can't complain with that. Actually, I probably could, but I'm not going to. That'd be a better thing to say. Let me just straighten this out just a little bit more. Alright, now to the main board. Alright, so what we're doing here, and let me get something to put underneath it. How about the Game Boy case? That will not do. You know what? I just need something to keep it from completely smooshing down on me. Alright, so what we have to do here, if I can show you. There we go. Connect these points here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my desoldering braid. I'm going to remove the solder from the points from where the surface mount component was, just to make it flat. Because we're going to have to solder there anyways. And grab my clock. All right. So I'm gonna take that. Just leave that there for right now. So it's these points here, the 2 points from. Let's see. It's the 2 points that we desoldered already from the surface mount. This part right here, the square part, which is kind of blocked, and then attach it to this surface mount component that's right here. So let us try. Probably should have put some flux in this, but it's too late now. But I think it's tacked in. Just want to get these tacked down first. Try from this angle. Easier. And last one. I'm gonna double check this. I don't think that's good enough. Okay, sorry. I have to constantly make sure that the recording for this is actually working. Okay, that should be tacked in. Just make sure you're tacked in nice and good. Alright, let me double check. Alright, now, let's see here. That's the... It might be just far enough out of reach. Alright, now if you can see here, it's all tacked in. Right there, and right there. That's it. That's literally it. So I'm going to go ahead and button this up. We will just reverse steps from what you did last time to get it taken apart. And then I'm going to run a before and after and what it's like. And then you guys can be the judge for yourself. Now for me, I noticed a difference trying to play some games. And it just sounded completely... It just sounded like it was running faster, which to me, I don't exactly enjoy. But I'll leave you with that. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.